and Waterstone Crook playing fields. Stream comes down here. As you come out to the open, turn left and past the gate to go up the hill. There's the sports field. Now this side of the field's quite dry, but the water that comes out in lots of wee artesian wells at the bottom of the tree line runs down. There's no actual stream there, but it tends to be very, very boggy, so you stick to this side as you're coming up. Right, got to cut through at the high point. It drains to either side, so it's not quite as bad here. And then zigzag up. Right. Duck under the spiky bush of thorns. Well, certainly breeze here, but could be too west. Difficult to say. Right. Well, the breeze coming along the slope. It'll cut along to the top of the cattle track, and that way might be able to use the wing to jog sideways up the hill, depending on where the sheep are. Half a dozen sheep over there, large area clear, and the rest of them are way over and down. Difficult to make out what the wind turbines are doing. So I'm just hiking up to the top, see what the breeze is doing up there. So, but light breeze at the top, indicating that that might have had been some Katabatic effect, sloping in shadow, even though it was more blowing along than truly down. Calm area on the water. Could be indicating this is the lee side. Could just be a temperature effect. Warmer air off the houses. Difficult to say. And with this lighting it's difficult to say, but the wind turbines look to be west-northwest. So, heading along to see if I can get the takeoff, then crosswind and skim over the trees. If not, abort into the side of the hill. Right, get the wing laid out and have a feel for the air. Wind assist, checking, lines are clear. Airspace. Safety riser, safety hand. Fluff the wing to check it. Recheck the airspace. One wing off at the moment. See what come out when it goes flat. Be off in a minute. So, the initial layout is pointing that way. Step the wrong way, so I'll step left, putting in the right roll, round, cutting across. Got a 90-degree turn, so I've got to launch off that way, hopefully see if I can get clear of the trees. If not, cut back into the slope and land on the slope. Otherwise, downwind, round, and into the playing field, I think. Okay, let's get ready. Okay, last checks. Got a loose brake, so I'll need to sort that. The cheat, cross. Lets me just clip straight in. Show this to the students, but emphasise not until they've got experience. So once they're part way through their training on, say, 5-10 hours, and in appropriate occasions, we'll get them to do the shortcuts. Right, tactile knuckles, follow the surface all the way down. Lifting and visual check. So you're looking all the way around, including the elbow, the whole thing. Clean, good sound. You can see the tangles there already. Follow down, that's because the brake was loose, to the pulley. And then follow back the line. And then rerun. So, tactile, visual check, audio. Okay, I'm going to go fairly quickly. To prep, airspace check, slow, 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 let it settle, and bounce. Okay. And a slow turn. Right. Just taxiing across to get to the steeper slope where I can then build up the speed. So I'm hands free on one side. Using the harness, and then go hands free on the camera for the actual launch. So we'll get bounces just now. Doesn't look like I'll clear it, but you never know. Nope, big down slope. And into land, touch down, step down slopes of the wing. Will drop upslope. Now, it is possible to get across there, but you're cutting your margins far too tight. So I'm going to go back up. If we get a tiny bit north component, so instead of having the wind going down the slope, giving me sink, we get a tiny touch of either neutral or lift. I might get across, but to be honest, I think it's going to be just another flight to here and then a walk down today. Play it safe. Might use the wing, however, to jog up the hill. So far not doing too badly. It's not a great angle, but the wind on the wing walked it all the way up. That's better. Use it like a sail. If it snags, just step back and surge it back up. Right. Now another option is to fly down there and then walk along. That avoids having to cut round downwind and over the trees. So I'll take it back to the top. Same spot and give it one more attempt, and then I might go for the glide down there as the safer option. Okay. I'd put it maybe at 20% chance, but we'll see. So set up for cross wind, settling over the back of the slope, and check airspace and bouncing up. Okay. Doesn't feel too bad at that. Yep. So if I go for a surge, and then keep the airspeed in. I've then got the airspeed, rather than stopping it, so I've only got airspeed that's equal to the wind speed up here. If I surge it up, I might be able to carve round and get off efficiently enough. So the camera is going to have to hang for this. Got to be delicate on tiny touches of controls. Run all the checks. Okay, still recording, battery is low. Double bounce. Ease. Still hooked a wee bit on ice. Settle. And clear. And get better position. Making better there. I'll drop it. So as I say, I've got long strides, hands free. Downwind. Dive, dive, dive. Land into wind, up the slope. And just above the track for the cattle, you see a wee bit warm lifty air, bit of an up breeze. You can cut over there and down, but the wind direction coming down the slope. And this is a DHV1 rather than a comp wing, so I just don't have the performance. Nice bit of exercise though. Okay, last one, near the fence line. Conditions are still the same. Wind's flowing round and down the hill. However, instead of the trees here, at the bottom of this bit we've got a steeper slope with gorse and just a few wee bushes, not really trees at all. Now I've done this a couple of times, but again, I wouldn't put a lot of betting on this, say 10% chance. One of the problems is that you really are in ground contact most of the way down there. The strides may be 20-30 feet apart, but the slope here matches the glide angle pretty well for these conditions. So I need at least 6 feet by the time I come to the lip, otherwise it's just not worth trying to fly over gorse bushes. So camera off if I can get the chance, and if it does fly, get the camera back on and see if I can get into the landing. And definitely last one, otherwise it's pack up and walk before we lose the light. Better. It's still very much ground contact. Let's see if I can skim it. Whoa, very close. There's that tree. Carving round. Hit the stopper. Coming down, down, down. Still landing. And stop. Very nice. And that's the old railway line. So down to the gate and a straight walk along. Yeah, surprised the amount of lift I got there. Wasn't bad at all. But out here at ground level, that's wind blowing straight down that slope. I'm guessing it was a warmer air 100 feet up from the houses. That definitely looked like you could get all the way down to the river, but of course you get sink in the middle of there and you land. You know, you're very tight. A couple of bits where there's open green areas, not worth the risk. You just piss off people. Definitely worth the flight down though. Gather up, down to the bottom, pack up and walk. Nice echo.